Stay tuned and I'll walk you through 6 things you can do on your next vacation to make sure that it is argument-free. Hey guys, Lindsay here. I'm a financial therapist and I talk to you about all things related to getting your mind and money in balance. Today I'm going to be walking you through the 6 things you can do to make sure that the next trip you take with your partner is argument-free. One of the best things about taking a trip with your partner is getting in that quality time and creating memories together. The downfall can be if you're not on the same page before you leave and you get on the trip and you realize that you guys have different expectations, you can really butt heads. Number 1 is have a general plan for what you're going to be doing each day. I don't want you planning out things hour by hour or minute by minute. I'm really guilty of that, of trying to cram in as many things as possible and maximize the time on the ground. But as I've been traveling with my partner, I've learned that it's much better to pick out 2 or 3 things that you're gonna make sure to do that day and then let the rest of the day just happen. You might stumble upon a cool park that you hadn't planned on and you could do a little detour without worrying about not getting to the things that you wanted to do. So have a general loose itinerary, but don't over plan. Number 2 kind of goes along with number 1, and that is purchasing your tickets in advance when it comes to popular attractions. For example, my partner and I will be going to Amsterdam soon, and we're making sure to get our tickets for the Anne Frank Museum and the Van Gogh Museum before time because those are really popular attractions and we don't want to spend all day waiting in line. So if you know that you're going somewhere where there are going to be popular things, make sure you get your tickets first. Number 3, know your pain points. If you're like me, you tend to get hangry in the middle of the day, so make sure you plan appropriately. Maybe you're the type of person who needs to make sure that they're exercising every day. Make sure you carve out those 20 or 30 minutes when you're on vacation to get your sweat on. If you're like me, like I said, and you get hangry, put a couple of fruit and nut bars in your bag. So when you can feel yourself starting to get a little cranky, you can rip one of those open and have a bite and keep cruising on. Make sure you know what's gonna drive you crazy, and don't think that just because you're on vacation, you're suddenly going to not be that person. So if you're not a night owl, don't expect that when you're on vacation, you're suddenly gonna wanna be out all night hitting up the town. Just not true. Number 4, decide on a pilot and a co-pilot. Each of you guys are going to have your unique strengths, so make sure that you play into them. So for me, I am really good at navigating a paper map, but when it comes to navigating something on my phone in terms of walking around a new city, I get really turned around and twisted and tangled up and I can't do it. So if I am planned ahead and I have a little pocket map, I'm your girl, I can get you from point A to point B, no problem. But if I don't have that pocket map, I am not going to be the best person to be in charge of directions. So think about what you are good at, what your partner is good at, and think about how you can kind of divvy those things up. Make sure to have that give and take so each of you has that chance where you feel like you're in the lead and each of you has the chance to feel like you're kind of hanging back a little bit more, so that way you guys can kind of balance each other out and one person doesn't feel like they are shouldering all of that work of planning that trip. Number 5, manage your technology expectations. Before you head off on a trip, talk about what those technology expectations are. Are you gonna be checking work email when you're on vacation? Are you gonna be posting to your Instagram stories? Make sure you know what those expectations are before you take off, so that way you're not getting irritated by your partner if they are doing things that you didn't talk about in advance. For me, because I do have a pretty active Instagram account, I am kind of tending to snap pictures and put them on my stories, but occasionally my partner and I will decide like, look, this is a total social media free day, or we will make sure that we are not texting anybody else. We are really just enjoying the time in the here and now. So make sure to manage those technology expectations before you hit the road. Number 6, the final tip is plan in some time to hang out with yourself. Solo time is key on a couple's trip. I say this for a number of reasons. One, it just gives you a little bit of breathing room, but the other thing is it also gives you the opportunity to talk to your partner at the end of the day or when you meet up about how their day was. For me, I am not a morning person, but I also can't sleep in, which means those first couple hours in the morning are really precious to me, but they're also where I want to be sitting back and kind of waking up, whereas my partner can sleep in. So oftentimes on trips, I'll spend that first hour or two of the day hanging out at a cafe, walking around, maybe watching the city wake up, and then when my partner gets up and we're ready to go to breakfast, I can share with them, a conversation I had at the cafe about a cool place we can check out, and just share with them a little bit about what I did. Or maybe you guys are very different and one of you guys is a beach bum and wants to sit out on the beach all day, and the other one wants to do stand-up paddleboarding. That's great too. Do different things for that afternoon, and then when you come together for dinner, you have a lot to talk about and connect on. So those are my 6 tips. Let me know in the comments below what else you do to make sure that your trip as a couple is argument-free, and I will see you in the next video.